Okay, we're back with part 3 in EPP. Never, ever, ever say never. Because that's what I said about English paper piecing, and lo and behold, not only did I try it, but I got totally addicted to it. So I'm thinking if you say I will never ever do that, not only are you going to do it, you're going to do it like in a big way. So English paper piecing. When I started sewing, I did a lot of machine applique. I'm talking about, not just what my gram taught me in yo-yos and hand stitching, but when I started using my machine a lot, it was a lot of machine applique. I've really gone away from that because I enjoy hand stitching so much more. But anyway, it was when everyone was doing the Millefiori. Is it Katamar? I don't know how to say her name, Katamaric. So I bought the book. I bought what I needed, and I started. And those pieces were so unbelievable for me. And it was right between when Jim and I moved to one house. This was crazy. We moved into this house. As soon as we moved in, I hate to say it, but the neighbors were hoarders, and we didn't know it. And then not only were they hoarders, but they had this beautiful backyard with all these trees. She announced that she hated trees and they would be cutting down all their trees. And some of their trees actually, spilled over into our yard. And they did. They cut down every single tree in their backyard. It looked like a desert. So really within the week that we moved in, Jim said, I'm going to remodel this house and we're moving out. And we did. And that's how we ended up here. So how did I get off on that tangent in EPP? Oh, because I started it when we lived in the house on Dover, and then I packed everything up, and then by the time we got here and I got things unpacked, it was, I don't know, I just threw everything there. I thought, what in the hell was I doing with these? So, but I didn't want to give up. So I started just looking at things on Instagram and watching YouTube videos. I'm an optician and my glasses are crooked. Excuse me. Anyway, I got hooked on the hexes, and you're never supposed to match up your eyebrows to your glasses, right? Just to let you know, you want them square on your face. So anyway, can you tell? Okay, it's ADD, isn't it? I'm just telling you, my mind goes like this, and I go bing, 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 and then I will center back around. And I know in between you have to go for the ride, and if you can't handle it, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so we're getting back to hexes. I don't know what got me started, but I bought this book, and it had a cheddar quilt in it, the old cheddar quilt. They call it cheddar because of the color of the fabric. And it was done in that cheddary, orangey color and pink and black. And I thought, oh man, and I'm not a pink person. It was kind of a bubblegum pink. I'm not a pink person. I thought, man, I really, really like that. And I don't follow directions. I don't follow directions. So I thought, I'm just going to make this up as I go. How, easy, when it's hexies. So I'm going to take you for a walk, okay? We're going to go this way, and I'm going to show you, because as you can see, this is a very, very small room. Although I love Black Thread Studio, it's very small. So if you're wondering, down in the basement, I have a whole area that has my fabric in tubs, and I have a design wall, and I have all my books, and someday we will go down there. Right now, my son's in the middle of moving, and he put everything he owns down there. So it's a mess, but we will go down there sometime. Okay, so follow me. And this is what I had trouble with, it won't flip around. Man, what am I gonna do with this? Okay, let's try this. How stupid is this? Okay, can you see that? This is the one I'm working on now. And I started this with my EPP group that I follow on Facebook. And as you can see, they're 1-inch hexies, and they're called posies. where there's a center and a flower with that little end piece and then another little half row around it. And this is from Lorraine. I think it's Lorraine Knight on Facebook, on the EPP group, the English Paper Piecing. So there's that one. That is the one I'm working on now. I'm going to keep working on it. I do not know how big I want it to be, but we'll come back to that one. And then this is the cheddar quilt. I call it a cheddar quilt. This is what first got me started doing the hexies. And you will see the color combination. With the cheddar orange, the bubblegum pink. I did add a little bit of the gray in there, which I think made it a little contemporary, which is, I don't know, it wasn't what I was going for, but I guess this ends up being my style. And what's funny is the colors I choose when I sew or quilt are not the colors that I decorate with. So this is what I started English paper piecing on. And I just started making these big flowers. And I started that like a year and a half ago. And because I get bored, I then flipped to the next one I did. I'll just show you a few and then we'll do a little EPP. This one, which was also on my Facebook group, I don't know if you can see, I think they're 3.5 inch coffins. This wasn't the original shape. It was similar to that, but it was off of a quilt that's in is it the Victoria and Albert Museum in England? So that one, just a lot of unfinished things, don't you know? So, okay, let's see what we're gonna work on, okay? This last row right here, I have this one that I'm stitching. That one's already on. And then I did these two. This one I don't like. I wish I would have done this on the outside and that on the inside. That one I love. And I don't even like pink. I love that one. But I think I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to take this one out and maybe put in this purple. You guys still there? Oh, good Lord. If you're still there, you're awesome. By the way, you guys have been so nice, really. So nice. So I'm so glad you're here. Okay, we're going to do a little EPP. And you guys probably know how to do this, but I'll just show you how I do it. And if you make it through this, I'm going to tell you a little thing that I'm going to try, okay? All right, so we are going to go down, and I'll just show you how I do it. Now, don't be horrified, because I am going to use this marker, because when I cut out, it ends up not, you end up cutting it out. You know, the marker might not be good for the fabric, but hey, that's what I do. I have tried using other pencils and fabric pens and that kind of stuff, but this still is my favorite. So what I do, and I do have the bigger, thicker template where you cut them out like that, and you have the little I Spy thing. I keep going back to this. I just, like I told you, did I tell you I don't follow rules or directions? So these are the 1X Hexi pack. I do get them from Paper Pieces. There's also a place on Etsy that I got some, and I don't remember what the name of it is right now. But these are the 1X Hexis. Let me grab this one that's newer. So what I do is I just use that template that you buy in the big sheets, and I just add, I don't even know how much that is. Don't ask me to measure. Remember, just always remember, I don't follow rules. If you're a numbers person and you do everything perfectly, then maybe just have fun watching and don't do it the way I do. So I think I try to add 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, or not 1/2 inch. Anyway, and just make my own template. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, perfect shape. So, and I try to get as many on a sheet as I can, or on fabric, and I literally, you know, just draw it on. I'm drawing on this placemat because I didn't want to show off my dirty cutting mat, but I kind of just line them up, and I'll do as many as I can, or as many as I need, and then cut them out and end up with my little pieces here. Okay, so that's that. Cut those all out. I don't base mine on because I get too bored. That would take me too much time. That's why I didn't want to do EPP anyway. I thought, man, that takes a lot of time. I don't know if I have the patience for that. Well, now that I like to sit at night and have a little glass of wine, I found that, yeah, I do like it. So anyway, okay. I know this is weird. I'm looking for a book. I know this is weird, but when I do my, isn't that beautiful? I got this on Amazon. This is my daily planner. This is where I'm writing down everything that we're going to do for Black Thread Studio. Anyway, I take a book, and this will make sense too, because that will work. Okay, I know you're going to be backwards. I also want to show you, this is a brand new paper. This one has been used a couple times, and I will use that. I've been stretching them, some of them. I mean, that's in really bad shape. I have found that the softer they are, I can still use it and get a good shape, but as I'm sewing, I don't like how flimsy it is. I like the stiffer when I'm actually sewing them. Okay, I don't know how much time this is going to go, so I'm going to try to speed up instead of being so chatty. Okay, I'm just going to use this one. So I know everybody does this different, but this is what works for me. When I lay it out and try to center it, and we're not going to talk about, you know, trying to do a certain motif or make sure anything shows in the middle or whatever. So I go across onto the fabric on both sides, both ends, and I flip it up. I know some do one side and then I start going around and just folding it like a present. And I use, I think this one's Fons and Porter, the glue sticks. And I'll just go all the way around and press it down real good. You know, just fold the edges like a little present. Whoops. And because when I do it that way, I think I pulled out all the papers. When I do it that way, I'm just going to have to pull out a paper out of this one and show you, and then I'll deal with it. When I pull out the paper, which one do I want to do? I'll do this one. You know, I start pulling it up, and I don't have to pull it too far. I just reach in, but then it really comes out like, I guess that's clockwise. It just pulls out. Now, of course, that one came out funny because it's the end, and you can see as I'm going, I will pull out the paper. So when I got this done, I pulled out the papers that didn't need, you know, back up to an open. I pulled those papers out because then it's so easy to fold your edge to stitch. Okay, so on this one, I know you guys know how to do this, but we're going to do it anyway. So this is going to be my center. I'm trying to face it to you. This is going to be my next row with the green. So if I had a certain pattern, like I'm going to be using these at some point with the paisley, I might try to match them up so that like the paisleys are, you know, either going the right way or the stripes. But for this one, we don't need that because of the dots. So I already have a needle ready to go because there's no way I was gonna, this one's too long. Single thread. And I do try to use just a dark gray or a light gray. If there's gonna be like an orange to an orange, I will use an orange color. But on this one, I'm just gonna use this light gray. So I do have the little pins or the little like hair clips that I use Do I need to show those to you guys? I guess I probably should if we're talking about it, right? Let me just see real quick. I just feel like I know that you know, but what if you don't know, right? Okay, I use these clips. I even use big clothes pins, and then those little clips that you actually buy, like in the quilt section. I tend not to use them because I don't like how they pinch the fabric, but I'll just do this to show you. Okay. I know there's certain needles that are good to use. Don't ask me, because remember, I don't follow rules. I don't use a really thick one. I don't know. And I don't use a really long one. Okay, so get that matched up. And I'm going to show you, I don't even do a knot. I'm going to catch both corners, just the very, very end. I'm going to pull it through till I get to the end here. And then I kind of just flip this over and hold it. It is harder as you get, you know, a bigger piece that you're working on. And then I will try to, when I catch that corner again, go underneath that thread. I kind of go back in the same place that I was in. Oh, I knew this would happen because this one is so long. And then I come back up through there and just tie a knot on itself. And then you want to just keep going. So you're just catching the very, very top threads. And I hold that down and just keep making sure that I catch that little tail. And it's going to be, then I don't have a crazy knot there. Sorry, I picked this way too long. And you just keep going all the way to the end. Well, I'm not even doing it right because I get my stitches closer than that. Again, don't ask me how many stitches per inch or anything. I don't know. Just keep going. Just keep going till they're next to each other. So it's nice and tight. So if we open this and look at it, you can see, I mean, you're not even going to see that thread, and they're nice and tight. That's going to be pretty, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to actually grab the one that's on the floor, and that's why I had them on the floor, because my design wall is down in the basement, and we're not going down there, remember? So let me grab that so I can show you on a bigger piece, okay? Just enjoy that. Pretty book right now. Oh, I didn't tell you why I used the book. Because I'm going to come back just for a minute. Because when I fold them, I have an edge. I pull it off the edge to fold it instead of trying to pick it up. I guess it's easier for me to grab the edge and fold it up. That's why I do the book. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So on this one that I've been working on, I thought I'd left the needle in here. So as you can see, as I'm coming along this way, and they're fitting together, once you start getting this big bulk, it is kind of awkward, especially on this big piece, but that's why you want to take out the papers as you go so it's not so heavy and awkward. So what I do, and I guess it depends on if I'm right-handed, but I actually sew both ways, but it depends on what direction you're going to go, I guess, with your needle. But so if I was just working on this, what I would do, let me grab another. What I would do is flip this back on itself and get that lined up like that. But I don't want to really go from this corner over because I've already sewn this part. So I'm going to flip it so that as I sew from here and then get to this corner, and I'm just going to show you what I do when I get to these places that intersect. Let's pretend like I sewed that whole thing. When I get to the end, I'm going to do another little loop, just like I did on the end, and kind of tie it off on itself. But I make sure I just get in there and get to the very, very end and tips so that when you go to lay this back out flat and turn that corner, make sure those ends are met all the way down. And then I can flip it. And this is where I would probably even take out this paper while I'm stitching this. I'm not going to do it because I actually didn't stitch that yet, but I would just kind of take out that paper and keep stitching along. Flip it to this one and just keep going. Keep lining it up and keep going. So I guess that was just a little bit of EPP. Do you guys EPP? And if you don't, you should start because it's really addictive. You can take it anywhere. I take mine to work all the time on my lunch. You know, you can take it anywhere. Sit at night with a glass of wine. I even do it with bad light because Jim doesn't like the light reflecting off of my wine glass. I think he has told me the light's reflecting off the wine glass and it's too bright for him to see the TV. So it's just trouble all the way around, isn't it? Okay, I did not line up my EPP for my dog that I've been working on, which got me started. But if you are patient with me, I'll grab it real quick because I really did want to do that because that's how I got started with Kate. And I haven't finished my dog yet. So at work, these perfect little boxes come from, our frames come from one company in these boxes, and they don't have any markings on them. So in my basement room, not that one, I will like actually label or write what's in each one. But I also, look how perfect they are for individual little projects. I have a bunch of these with started UFOs in them, I guess. But this is my, that's part of my dog. I started it for my grandson, Reed. You guys know what the dog looks like, and if you don't, go find Kate at the Last Homely House on Instagram or her YouTube channel. But these were the colors I was going to use. I thought maybe I'll get it done for Christmas. And then I was thinking, well, that's coming pretty quick. I don't think that's going to happen. Reed is 2.5, so he'll probably still enjoy it. Maybe I'll just finish it after the holidays and surprise him and Hadley with a little. See, now I'm thinking if I'm making Reed one, I should make Hadley one. But it's taken me this long to make, not even get Reed's done. I don't know. Should I make Hadley and Reed one? Hadley's 8. She would still like it if I did it in fun colors. I was thinking about putting a bell in mine, so when he plays with it, it jingles. Okay, this will be one to follow. Let's see if I finish these. I usually don't do Valentine's Day gifts, but would that be fun to send him just a little treat? Oh, you can see. That's the head and the eye and the ear, the leg, and then he's